Good evening, everyone. This is the Community Preservation Committee meeting for April 16th, 2025. It's 6:34 p.m. We do have a quorum. We have 4 of us in the room and 1 remote, so we will begin. It's a short agenda tonight because candidates night starts at 7, so I know we wanted to, we just had a couple things we had to do. I don't know, Rob, if you want, I guess they don't have extra.
Thank you.
So the first thing is a minute. Administrative things, news, mail minutes. We did have some minutes from last meeting. Everybody got to see those. Oops, all's on.
Hello.
Hi, Saul.
Hello. Good evening, Saul.
We just opened the meeting. We're looking at minutes right now from the last meeting. It wasn't there, so I'll have to rely on you all to. Yes, Mr. Oates.
Yeah, so I'd just like to ask, I'm not trying to quibble and I appreciate everything.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say. Yeah.
Oh, so the aspect of the term was used in the near future. And because I'm familiar with some of your other projects with regard to the spending be allowed for a 3-year duration, I just thought it was appropriate to ask for clarification on that aspect of the near future, if the intent was to resolve it. Not, I don't even want to say immediate, whatever words you determine, I'll be more than happy to accept. But I do think because CPC projects are normally allowed for the spending within a 3-year period, it just begs for me with my interest as that previous expressed and don't need to take any more time. I just wanted to bring it up as a matter to seek either your clarification or just deal with it as is, but I thought I should know it.
I think when I use the term in the near future, I said it to allow some flexibility because maybe some things might take longer to resolve the issue than other, but I'm okay if people want to change that. But this is just minutes. This is what we said at the meeting, so.
I will add that Tim and Tim have been discussing the storage, so we will come up with an option.
That addresses my concerns with that.
Anything else in the minutes?
I don't see anything.
We have a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of March 19th, 2025.
I second.
Printed.
All in favor, I will do a roll call since we have some remote participants. Bartlett,
Bartlett, yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Sam,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
and Solomon.
Yes.
And I'll abstain since I wasn't here. We have enough votes. Thank you. Member updates and admin. The only thing I saw from the coalition is that the 2025 affordable housing limits are out and they're on the coalition website. And for us, for the housing, I mean, it might be more, but for us, it's the people who can apply for exemptions. You can, if you meet the low income thresholds, you can apply for an exemption, but it's based on the HUD area wide median incomes. So for moderate income for a 1-family house, it's $112,630. For
Wow.
a 2 income, I know, isn't that crazy? $128,720. Low income starts for a 1-family house of $90,104. And a 2-family household of $102,976. So just shows you how high the incomes are in the area that they use for us. And before town meeting, I'll get how many exemptions we have, because I think they've seen an increase, but because we're asked about that, we should know anyway.
And the moderate number applies to seniors and the low applies to everybody. Is that correct?
I believe so. The low income property owned and occupied by a non-senior. Moderate is owned and occupied by a senior 60 and older. But the full schedule's on the coalition website. Anything else from members?
Yeah, the Affordable Housing Trust is thinking about rescinding its vote to buy the Durkee Farm with CPC money, because the CPC requires that all housing developed on that site be affordable, and we do not think that's likely to happen. So we will rebuy it. This is sort of an accounting thing with some of the donated money that's not CPC. Anyhow, so that's what we're thinking about.
So do you have to sell it back and then rebuy it, or it's just a transaction?
It would formally be a sale and a purchase, but it would happen in the accountant's office.
Hmm,
I don't know how that works.
interesting.
That's what town council suggested that we do,
I'll see hard come.
because that would allow us to have a mix of affordable and market units on the site. But it wouldn't allow us to do any support, renovation, whatever, of the farmhouse.
Hmm,
So I don't know where that leaves
We'll
us.
talk about it.
Yes.
I guess not this business, we should talk about it, yeah.
mhm. Andrew Solomon, anything from your perspectives?
No, so it's merely just an accounting. I know we can't really dig into this tonight, but yeah, I suppose we should put it on for next meeting and see if, how to go about it.
Yeah, there's a little bit more to it, okay. Rob, did you have any input beforehand? Okay. So the big reason that we're here is to revote the blended fund money. Originally, we had voted 160,000 that was coming in from the schools to pay for the track. And then the free cash amount was 281,846. So since then, the school, there's some talk about accounting. Some of those funds cannot be transferred out of the school system. They're not really ready to, the project was kind of up in the air. So they're going to do the track, from what I understand, themselves. So because of that, we lost 160,000. So the finance committee did come up with some more money for us.
Good for them.
Yeah, it's 307 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
so if you look, I handed out Article 25, anyone who got their little booklet today, it's in there too, and this is the new amount, so it's a total of $307,346. And what they've done is they've used our allocation for the 1% surcharge, and they've divided it that way. So there's no one project that it earmarks, but it's earmarked into these particular funds, which is fine with me. Housing resources will get $61,469.20. Open space will get $122,938.40. Historical resources, 55,322.28. Actually, give me the percentages while we did that. That's 18%. Housing gets 20%. Open space gets 40%. Historic gets 18%. The recreation reserve gets 21%. It's 64,542.66. And administrative gets 1%, which is $3,073.46. And again, if that doesn't get spent by the end of the fiscal year, it goes to undesignated. So we need to, since we'd already voted in the a higher figure, we need to reverse that and then vote in this new amount. Guess we can do that in a two-step or a one-step, just so it's clear. You want a motion? Are there any questions? I don't know if I have any answers, but,
I'll make a motion to rescind the prior vote and reallocate it, what you just said, the 2040, 18, 21, and 1 of the allocated free cash, 307,346.
Second it.
Bartlett?
Bartlett, yes.
Carolyn is a yes, Linda?
Yes.
Sam,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
and Solomon.
Yes.
Okay, great. That does that. That's
So I have one other comment, which I noticed in the booklet.
Mhm.
If you look on this page or in the booklet, under motion, it says moved
Yeah.
and seconded by the Conservation Preservation Committee.
I didn't
Typo.
see that.
Just
That's
thought
funny,
I'd
'cause-
point that out.
Even down below, it says community preservation.
Missed that.
That Conservation Preservation Committee.
Yeah.
It's a new committee in town.
Yeah. Mention that at town, thanks for pointing that out. All right, so that was the big thing. And then, since you have the articles, I think I had sent out at least Article 20, I see we're down to 25 and 26 now. Much further along in the meeting than we were originally. But nothing has changed since I sent this out to you the last time, and has the debt services in it that you voted at the March meeting, and roped into that is the allocations for both the surcharge and the state match, and then all of the projects. And I think what I'll do is what I did last year is kind of explain, because, you know, to parse out what the dollar amounts are, and then just real quick go through the projects, because there's so many of them, and if anyone has specific questions about the projects, the applicants, I'll have the applications with me in case somebody poops out by the time we get to Article 25. But I'm just I'll ask Alicia from Park and Rec and Clean Lakes, John Folsom, to just be ready if there are specific questions.
Was the frog pond walkway improvement the only thing we did from undesignated? I thought we, okay,
Yeah, I think everything else we had and it was enough, but that was the big one. Yeah.
oh, it was reserves. We wanted to use reserves, so.
Yeah, you wanna make sure it says reserve so that we can spend
Have
it
it,
right away, as long as we have it, which we will. And then just real quick, one thing, I think Andrew and I were talking in the cemetery one day, I don't know if we wanna think about going forward. We're very lenient when we, you know, get projects in, and I don't know whether we wanna tighten that up a little bit. It's hard because it's people we know and it's organizations that we're involved with, but even, I was looking at the things that I was involved with this time, like the Historical Society door. When I look at that application, there were no pictures, there was no, you know, formal quote. I think that should have been a little, a little bit more. So that's, one that I don't know why I didn't even think of it when we were doing it. The cemetery is the same thing, we've been asking for that money for year after year, although we're trying to get as much as we can out of Fannin and Lyra before they retire. So, in the future, I think Chuck DeCoste brought it up at the select board meeting, are you looking at other avenues, other funding sources? And we should probably start thinking of things like that too. And some of the bigger projects that come through that, like the track project, and I know they tried to push it through real quick at the end, but it really had no detail. And maybe I'm the only one that feels that way. Maybe, I think we should talk about it going forward. Put it on the agenda, but I just wanted to keep it short.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they said redo the track.
Yeah,
Well, I think, yeah, and I will say that I talked to the school department, and that was one of the reasons even before the decision that they really couldn't use the money, they were already looking at pulling it because they didn't have the detail and it was a little far off. So I think that was coming out anyway.
And there are other examples, so just think about it. We can talk about it at a future meeting. So that's the business we had tonight. I guess our next meeting would be May 21st, and we'll get the fallout from town meeting then and start the process all over again. We might have some new appointees. I think it's not here. I think Mitt's application needs to go in this year. I think Sam and I are on for another year.
Just back to next meeting, 6:30, keep it at 6:30.
Do we want to keep it? Everyone seemed to like the 6:30.
Sounds good.
Confirm.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
What was the date again? 4/20,
Yeah, May 21st.
May 21st. Okay. Actually, what is that?
Special day.
It's the spring concert at the middle school. So I will.
Oh. Okay. Well, it's also not, I mean, we don't have a lot of business probably. Would you rather us reschedule?
No, go ahead with it, and I'll jump
Okay.
over as soon as the concert's done.
All right. All right, so we'll keep it on May 21st at 6:30.
And I'll get us back in the lovely room 103.
Yes. All right, any last thoughts before we close? The record.
So we don't have anything that we expect to need at town meeting.
I don't believe so. I haven't heard any more. I think everything is set. I don't think there's gonna be any yellow pieces of paper we have to send out. So as long as there's no complications between now and then, I think we're all set.
Great.
Yeah.
Carolyn, do you want to post just in case something crazy comes up?
Yeah, why don't we, Andrew? That would be great, just in case.
Sure. I'll throw together an agenda and I'll get it posted.
All right, yeah, you'd probably be posting for most of the committees anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. All right,
All right, motion to adjourn?
Second.
motion to adjourn by Bartlett, seconded by Sam Bartlett.
Yes.
Carolyn is a yes, Linda?
Yes.
Sam,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
and Solomon.
Yes.
All right, thanks everyone for doing that.
Have a good night.
Have a
Good
good
night,
night.